Yo, what's good, my beautiful dreamers and hustlers? Welcome back to another episode of Harmony and Hustlin, the show where the passion meets purpose and the beat never stops. I'm your host, Stargurl, rocking on the mic, and tonight's guest is someone who brings the heat, the harmony, and the hustle. He is an actor, a singer, Depeche Mode devotee, producer, writer, director, novelist. I could go on. And the man behind one of the most iconic karaoke nights in Southern California. What can't this man do? The one and only Jay Tando, aka MC Jay, for over how long? 12 years?
A 13 and a half at New Wave.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Holding it down a New Wave bar, giving the community a stage and a sound that keeps 80s alive and thriving. So grab your drink, tune in, and let's dive into the spotlight with the man who's been hustling with a heart and harmony since day one, even as a new dad.
I am a new dad.
Let's go. we don't have a neat little clapping button.
That's all right.
How are you, Jay?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here today.
It's good to see you. I'm so happy you came down to the studio out of your busy. All the things I named, that's not like fluff. This is who this man is. So I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for coming on down. I mean, I think you're an awesome person. And I walked in a New Wave bar years ago and was welcomed with open arms. First place I've ever done karaoke, and I haven't looked back. So to me, this is like a very, very, very huge honor to have you here. And then I've also seen your band numbers of times in numbers of places. And it's always like, if you like Depeche Mode, you've got to see Ultramode. Probably one of the best Depeche Mode tribute bands I've seen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, honestly. And I'm just happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
So, Jay, how did you get into, like, where'd you grow up? How'd you get into music and acting?
Well, I grew up in a suburb, Seattle, called Kirkland, and moved to West Seattle for high school. I went to public schools up until then, and then I moved to West Seattle to go to a private Catholic school. And I'm not Catholic, and I'm an atheist. But my cousins had gone there, and my dad was really impressed how they turned out. So like, oh, I'm going to get my kids in there. So
some structure, nice little structure.
Yeah, it was. I went from being the man of the house with a single mother to my dad's house, who had remarried, and I had inherited a stepmother and rules and chores and stuff like that, which actually I fully embraced because, you know, growing up with my mother. Rest in peace, Mom. I love you.
Yes.
She, you know, if things didn't get done, you know, if I didn't do them, they wouldn't get done. And so, so going to more of a structured chores and do this and do that, it was good for me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my mom did the best she could as a single mom. But when my dad wanted custody, she didn't fight it. She's like, you know, okay, you know, better school, better. Neighborhood and the whole deal. So yeah, I did it, and and then high school, and then University of Washington, and then down here to LA, I decided to come down. My actor friend Jim Caviezel, he had moved here, and we had been good friends, and he was visiting the University of Washington when I was there. His younger brother played basketball there, Tim Caviezel. Oh. And
Tim and Jim.
Tim and Jim, yeah. Timmy, his little brother, who was 6'7" or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Ended up playing overseas professionally with like Magic Johnson's All-Star team and
Whoa.
stuff like that. But at that time, he was at the University of Washington, and his older brother Jimmy, who ended up becoming Jesus.
I know, right?
And the Passion of the Christ, was visiting, and we were friends in high school. And he's like, "Hey, if you ever want to come down to LA," and I'm like, I'm actually thinking about it because I'd taken my first drama class. I waited till college to do that, and just absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
You know, I regretted not. You know, in hindsight, I should have done that earlier, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't in college because I got a lot of positive feedback from it, enough to inspire me to come to LA. And Jim said, "Yeah, anytime you want to come down, you could stay with me," and I took him up on that.
Yeah,
so
take advantage of the opportunity.
So yeah, 1993, I moved here and started doing my thing. You know, getting into small parts in big movies and big parts in little movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to Google Jay Tando because it's like I was blown away. I'm like, I only know you as the karaoke jockey, and I see all this stuff. And then Jeremy and I was like, he's like, oh, he was in a movie with one of my friends. It's called this and that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. A lot of, like I said, the credits are a lot of extra work to get my SAG card, and then once I got my SAG card, it was hard to get work because there's only so many SAG spots on film and TV and commercial sets. But so I kind of had to transition and had a day job for 13 years, and they were flexible
Great.
and let me audition and let me take time off to do, like if I booked a commercial, I took the day off, not a problem. Or if I had to take a week off to film a movie, they were cool.
Nice.
Until they weren't. After 13 years, they downsized. It was in the middle of the recession in 2009, and they were scaling down and laying people off, and we had a new supervisor, and it was one of those deals where they were like thinking of any excuse they could to let people go. And for me, it was I had a commercial audition, what's called a callback, which they'd already seen me, and they wanted to see me again. And so I was in the door, but now let's close the deal. And I had an audition scheduled for that afternoon, so I emailed my new supervisor that was above us and said, I'm going to take a longer lunch today. I'll stay later. But
You're accommodating, obviously,
I was accommodating,
for your time.
And the deal was because they were downsizing, I was doing a lot of more work. I was doing the work of basically 3 people at that time because they'd let so many people go.
I see.
And so I said, look, I'm going to get the work done, but I'm going to have to stay a little late. It won't even be overtime. It's just I'm going to have a 2-hour lunch break.
Make it up.
And then I'll stay an hour later. And that was their excuse. And they said, well, you can't do that anymore. I'm like, before you were hired on, I had a deal with my other supervisor that I'm an actor, and we had an understanding that, flexible with that. And they're like, well, that's not the case anymore. I'm like, well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
This is a $50,000 commercial. They've already seen me. They want to see me again. I can't cancel.
Why would I do that?
It was, that'd be unprofessional. And they're like, well, you can't do it. I'm like, I'm doing it. So
Yeah.
I went to the callback, and then I stayed an extra hour, and the next day they let me go.
They can't.
And I couldn't believe it because I'd given them so many years of overtime and was good. But it was the person above, the new guy above. It was like that was their job to cut the extra people, and so it was one of those things where.
Did that company survive?
Yes, they did. And they survived, but they got bought out by it was Fox, and they got bought out by Disney.
Okay.
So but at that time they hadn't been bought out, and again, a lot of the 20-some people that I worked with when I started in 1997, less than half were left. I was one of the last to go, and it's easier to let somebody go like that than to just lay them off because they didn't want to. Oh, we don't have to pay for unemployment.
Yeah, you got this demerit against you, right?
But I fought it. I didn't,
Good.
I didn't fight, letting go. But what I did fight was they didn't want to let me collect unemployment, and I'm like, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
So at first I was denied, and then I went in front of a judge and I explained the situation like I just did, and they're like,
Appeal.
well, you shouldn't have gone to the audition. I'm like, really? So my final appeal was a letter.
Yeah.
And as I was explaining in pre-interview, I'm kind of a novelist, so I wrote this long letter explaining the whole deal to them.
You're an eloquent writer.
And they came back and they said they chastised the previous judge and they chastised Fox for their treatment. They're like, we're going to retroactively pay you for everything.
So
that
you got
you've
your
gone
back
through.
pay.
So I got everything retroactive. But the point is, you got to fight for your right. You
do.
And
You do.
And so after that experience for me led me to realize, look, I'm an actor first. I did this day job for 13 years, and I was good at it, and I got a raise every year, and then they downsized the whole department, and I got screwed. From now on, to make money, I'm going to do things that I like to do.
Yes.
I like to sing. I like to act. I like to do all these different things, and if I could figure out a way to get paid to do them, I'm going to do that. And since then, that's all I've done.
I love that. Oh gosh, it's giving me chills. Like I just saw a documentary about what is her name, Allie. something. She wrote the song September. She was a little Jew girl from Detroit. She's dead now.
Oh.
But she wrote the Friends theme song.
Oh
You've
my
got
gosh.
to check it out. It's called. Let me look it up really quick. It's. I keep talking about this documentary because it was so inspiring, especially doing this. Just doing this podcast and everything, and then seeing the Devo. You've got to see the Devo documentary. That's on Netflix, and it was just like very. Allie Willis is
Okay.
her name. She wrote September, and I was like, "Huh? That's Earth, Wind, and Fire." She didn't write that. No, she wrote it. She wrote, yeah.
The one that Earth, Wind, and Fire sings? I love that song. Wow.
Little Jew girl from Detroit.
I would never have guessed that.
And she grew up listening to, like, she would sneak and listen to like the soul music, and she wrote a lot of stuff, and she did a lot of creative things and made money with it. And it's inspiring hearing you say that, like, no more. I'm going to follow my passions, my dreams,
Yeah.
and my music and what I like to do and make money doing it and have fun.
Yeah.
So how did it transition to music more for you from that
Well,
point?
well, the first musical experience I had was auditioning for a musical called "I Love You, You're Perfect, Not Change," and I had auditioned for several plays with the same director. He's a close friend of mine now. The Malibu Summer Stage Theater back in 1994. So I did like 8 or 9 plays, and so he knew me as an actor. I'd worked with him a lot, and he wanted me to come on and audition for this, really to act and then sing harmonies a few times. He didn't know if I could sing or not, but I'd been taking some voice lessons a couple years prior to that, and lovely old lady named Godine Eagle, rest in peace, Godine.
Godine Eagle.
She was
what a name.
Yeah, she was in her like 80s at the time. She lived to be almost 100.
Wow.
She passed a few years ago, but I took a few acting classes with her 20 years ago, and it just gave me confidence. And so when I went for the audition, I admit I still kind of sucked at the audition, but singing. But he knew I could act, so he's like, okay, you could sing harmonies on some of the songs we're going to do because it's a big cast. And then as we started rehearsing, I was singing more and getting better, and he just gave me more and more to do. So he gave me some more singing parts, and by the end of the cast, end of rehearsals, I was one of the leads singing. So
wow.
it was really a confidence booster, and so it got to the point where I just felt this is what I can do.
You felt comfortable
And
doing it.
a couple of the people in the cast were also in the music industry and recording industry, and so they invited me to their studio and did some vocals for them, and it just all just kind of came together where I auditioned to be in a musical, and here I am doing all this fun stuff. So that was in 2009.
Musical, to be in a musical, that's so fun.
It was so much
grueling,
fun.
I bet, just the rehearsals and rehearsals, but it's still
yeah,
fun.
and it was in Malibu. So, and I was at the time I was commuting from west. I lived on the edge of Beverly Hills.
Okay,
and so that sucked. Every day going to rehearsal and hours and hours and hours and
yeah.
But it was great, and it was gas money, but we got paid.
You got paid.
We got paid.
to
It was
have that
fun.
on your resume.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great. That's my first thing, and then I got really had no idea I was going to be in a tribute band. I had been a fan of the tribute band scene since I moved to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I would go. One of my first friends that I met within a week of living here is a guy named Jose Maldonado. He's the lead singer of the Sweet and Tender Hooligans, and he's also the lead singer of a Devo tribute band called Smart Patrol. And I met him right away, and we became.
They're great too. Yeah,
They're both fantastic, and he's amazing. We became really fast friends, and so I was into his band, Sweet and Tender Hooligans, and a lot of the tribute bands around. It wasn't really cool until about 15 years ago. Up until about 30 years ago. I moved here 32 years ago. It was kind of laughed at.
Kind of frowned upon and laughed and mocked.
But these were my friends, so I would support them, and so I was kind of in the scene as a fan. And so what was it? What year was it? It was 2019 when I was asked to fill in for a tribute band, and I thought it would be just one show, and in Mexico, and I was told that it was because the guy didn't have his passport that I was filling in for. That turned out not to be the case, but
They had their eye on you.
they had. I'm going to keep a positive, but lot of drama there. But I ended up,
Lots to unpack there.
filling in for that show, thinking that's it because the guy didn't have his passport and he was going to take his resume his spot. But when we got back, the guy running the band said, I want you to replace him for good. I'm like, okay. And I guess in hindsight, I should have contacted that guy because he was a friend of mine and got the real story. I didn't know the real story until the real scoop until years later. And again, I'm going to keep it light. I'm going to keep positive.
Yeah.
A lot of drama there, but I did that band for a couple of 2.5 years, 43 shows.
Oh.
And it was great, and I had a lot of fun. Sharing the stage with the people that I did was really fun and amazing, and I'm going to keep it at that.
Yeah.
It ended awkwardly.
It built you to go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. And so when that band folded, the person said he was retiring from the music industry. A couple other people came to me and said, let's form our own Depeche Mode tribute band.
Yeah.
And so the first one that contacted me, I auditioned him, and I went with them. And for about a year, I did, I think, a dozen shows with them, and starting to have some drama there. So I said, you know what, you keep the name of that band, and you keep going.
Oh,
but
yeah, I think I remember him.
but I'm going to move on. And the guy the year before, both of these guys had messaged me at the same time. The guy that messaged me second, I was fair and honest with him. I said, this guy got to me first. I'm going to try him out. If it doesn't work out, I'll go back to you.
Fair enough.
Well, the second guy, John Paul Gonzalez,
Woo.
he
shout out.
he would
John
not
Paul
stop
Gonzalez.
bugging me. I mean, every other week he would send me a video of him singing, and he's like, "Hey, if the other guy ever breaks his leg or gets sick or whatever," and
Sweep
so
the leg, Johnny.
yeah, so about a year later,
If he has a nasty fall down some stairs.
he was very patient. So a year later, when I started having issues with the other one, I called him. I said, "I'm not promising you anything, but I'm going to give this guy one more chance to cool off and see if we can sort it out. But if he can't, I'm going to audition you." And I've got 4 shows lined up with the previous band that this other guy wants me to cancel, and I don't want to cancel him. So
Wow.
we'll see how it goes. So the next day I called the other guy, and I said, we're going to work things out. And it was very apparent from his answer that we weren't. So I let it go. I said, keep the band name. You do your thing. I'm going to move on and honor my word is my bond. So
Right.
I wasn't going to
Absolutely.
cancel those shows because he didn't want to do them. So
Right.
John Paul came over. He auditioned for me. He nailed it. He had been in tribute bands before.
Yeah, I heard on the Tantra
Yeah.
podcast you
Yeah.
guys were on.
He was.
Yeah.
The chemistry was good.
He's great.
He was. He slipped right into that glove.
He was
and,
ready. Put me in the game, coach.
Yeah, he got in the game, and then I got to full circle a year later when John Paul got COVID. I called my previous guy that I worked with, the singer, and I said, "Hey, he can't do it. Let's be friends. You want to fill in for this show?" And he did. So we reconciled, which is great.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So and now I could safely say, we're friends again, and
Great.
we're sharing the stage. Well, not the same stage, but we've shared the stage with his original music band. Is Roland Dark is his original music project.
Yes.
And he is an amazing artist and incredible original music. And so he does that, and I do Ultramode, and maybe one day he'll fill in again. But John Paul is who I'm working with, and then Dave Tong from the karaoke scene.
Yes, Dave Tong. I'm so glad that worked out. I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe it was just temporary because I know you were looking for someone. I think at one time Josh was up there at one point too.
Yeah, well, what happened? Yeah, you're right. At first, it was going to be one other person who wanted to do it, and then they got anxiety. And then another person that wanted to do it, and their appendix burst.
Yikes.
So I went to Dave and I said, "You want to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah." I mean, he's a terrible negotiator. He's like, "I'll do it for free," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dude, okay." So
He's like me.
but he's a real kind, big-hearted
I love
guy,
him.
and so he's always been loyal. And a couple of shows he couldn't do. He was out of the country, and so we brought in that guy Josh.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm going to keep it light. I'm going to keep positive.
Yeah,
But
keep it light.
we got through it. I tried to be as nice to him as I could at sound check, saying, "Don't oversing. That's not your part. You know, do your thing." But
He was just
it
singing
wasn't.
everything.
It just wasn't working. So, I let him fill in those 2 shows, and I wish him the best of luck in his life.
Yeah, yeah. At least he got the experience.
He got the experience,
Yeah.
and that's how I learned. It's like when you try to help out. I wanted to help him out,
Yeah.
as a friend, and
Just sometimes, you can't help
you
everybody.
you can't. And again, I wish him nothing but sunshine and rainbows. But
Sunshine, rainbows.
that was a tough 2 shows.
Unicorns.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. So yeah, we got that project 2.5 years ago, and I think we're on show number 50.
You guys are killing it. I don't have a vehicle right now, but I was talking to Jeremy last time, and he's like, we got to go see them again, because he was blown away seeing you at Garden Amp.
Yeah.
That was a great night. I have all kinds of videos of you guys.
We love that stage.
Oh, great
And,
show. And Smart Patrol was, you guys were just in the pocket. The sound was amazing. It was just really good. Great night.
It got good. The first couple of songs, I was told, weren't. I mean, I have in-ear monitors, so I
Yeah.
hear everything fine. But my friend was texting me right at the start saying, "Dude, this sound is awful." And so he actually literally went over to the sound guy and shouted him down, and they fixed it.
Great.
But I wouldn't know. I mean,
Great.
what I hear in my ears is not what the house, the speakers that face out are called the house. I don't know what they hear.
Oh, that's happened with Cheers for Fears sometimes when I do that song
Yeah.
with them. One time we were at, I think, Placentia, and I got in-airs because we were at New Wave one time, and we both were off. We heard the video, we were like, yikes.
Yeah.
So we had in-airs, beautiful sound. We went to another bar, and I was like, wow, the sound was terrible. I don't know if it was Montclair, I don't know. The sound guy was filling in, and it was just like...
Yeah, you got to go in ears, otherwise... at least for me, I get pitchy if I don't.
Oh, yeah. That changed the game for me. I
Yeah.
was like, the backtrack was softly playing
Yeah,
in the back,
yeah.
and I could hear certain instruments. I'm like, what
Yeah,
is this?
I love that you're working with them. They're great.
Yeah, I talked to Tom today, too. He's like, you did a podcast? I said, Jay's going to be on today.
Yeah.
What? And
Tom Ritchie.
yeah, he's like, let some episodes come out, and I'll come on. I'm like, it's okay.
Oh, he's great.
I
when
love
they
him.
played New Wave, I was watching them, and they came back to my karaoke room and to hang out, and they heard me sing, and he's like, "I want you in my band." I'm like, "Wow, okay, all right." And so maybe one day we'll actually share the stage. I mean, he's a really good guy.
Oh,
I really like him.
they're all great. I was telling them last time I was very grateful because I was very nervous. It was just something drunkenly we talked about
Yeah.
one time after karaoke, and it came to fruition, and they're a great bunch of people, and I was so grateful because I'm like, I wouldn't have it like any other way. I would like to have all of them on the show one day, but I
Yeah.
know everyone's busy.
Yeah.
But they're a great group of people.
Yeah, Tom is great.
Terry, Tom, like the drummer. I was asking them like, how did you guys meet? They like, we played soccer together. Like,
Oh my gosh.
so it was like, you guys are really cool.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like getting to know them and them embracing me, a virtual stranger, and just kind of taking me in the fold. I'm very grateful.
Well, it's talent finds talent, and they found you. And I've seen the videos of you performing, and I just love it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So, speaking of karaoke and New Wave Bar, how did that all begin?
Well, Danny Sanchez owns the New Wave Bar, and before that, he was the promoter at the Holy Goalie Club Addiction. And so I knew who he was. He knew who I was. And so I would go to his Club 1984 in Koreatown, and
Oh, nice.
Holy Goalie, and then Club Addiction. So when he opened New Wave, I was aware of it, but because it wasn't anywhere near where I live. I was aware of it, but I hadn't checked it out yet. And he and we were friends on Facebook, and he posted this thing saying, "We finally got an entertainment license. We are looking for DJs and karaoke hosts and bands," because at that point all they had was a jukebox legally. And so we stopped by, and I met with them and kind of hammered out a deal where I'd try a couple of nights. And at that point, I'd been doing house parties as a karaoke host. our mutual friend Mike Dunn was a KJ, and so he showed me how to be a DJ or KJ. And I'd been a DJ before, but I hadn't hosted karaoke.
Yeah.
So for about a year, I'd been doing it with Mike Dunn, doing house parties and whatnot. And so I auditioned for Danny, or I just basically, pitched him, and we did it. And it was great. We had a great turnout, even though it was, I'll never forget it. It was just pouring rain the first night, and I was like,
wow.
Nobody's going to show up. I'm never going to get this gig. But people showed up. And then the next day, it was only 2 nights a week for karaoke, Sunday and Monday, which ironically we're not even open Sunday and Mondays now. Yeah. But those were the 2 nights we were doing them. And we had great turnouts. And I thought, okay, great, we're set. And then the bad news was his manager at the time, who's long gone, convinced Danny to try other karaoke hosts just to see,
for a variety?
what they can do. And so I'm like, whoa. And so Danny apologized profusely. He was like, I'm really sorry. I know we kind of had a deal, but he wants to try these other karaoke hosts. And I'm like, he's like, I totally understand if you just want to bail on the deal. I'm like, no, I'll wait.
Yeah,
so they brought in 3 different KJs for the next 3 weeks. And, and again, I'm going to keep it light, but one of those KJs, she actually came to my show, and I didn't hear it because I was on stage doing my show, but she was talking mad shit to Mike Dunn. She was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna totally take this guy's job and all this that, like I'm gonna blow him away." And so he tells me that, I'm like,
and then
okay.
You watch them fall flat on their faces.
She fell flat on her face. So she
I love it.
She absolutely tanked, and then they had 2 other karaoke hosts that they brought in, and I just had to take the high road and just, okay, pick the best you think is. And a month went by, and he's like, I love your show. You're the best. So I've been doing it for 13 and a half years, and I love it. It's been a good gig. There's challenges, but, COVID sucked.
That's when I came around. Yeah. I think, honestly, and I'm not just gassing you up because you're on my show, because I do want you to plug, your stuff and your socials at the end and everything, and we're going to include a clip of you singing. But so you were the first place I've ever done karaoke.
Wow.
So I've gone to so many bars. I mean, to Vegas, to everywhere. Like with Olive, we've went to so many different bars. I think there's only one other KJ that I really like below you. His name is Fabio.
I think I've met Fabio.
But Fabio doesn't sing, so, Fabio wanted me to work with him. I was like, no, I'm not I can't deal with drunk people. I just can't. I'm sorry.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, I can't do it. But I love the consideration. I really did consider it, but I'm like, I just can't. And then Mel, KJ Mel, she's been on here too.
Yeah.
But I always go to other shows and look and kind of mirror it to your because it's not easy.
No.
And you run a show like so fair, no skipsies, no bribes, no, like I go to places where some people walk in, I'm like, dude, they just walked in and they're on.
Yeah, drives me crazy.
Yeah. So I love, like, I always like look, I know it's kind of biased, but I like kind of like, they're not running it like Jay, like, where's their list? Where's the where's the clap? Where's the eight? Where's the flair?
Right, and so I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I would go to karaoke and I would see people walk in and sing right away, it would just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And the no structure and the obvious bribes, and it just drove me crazy. So I kind of made that my vow. It's like I'm never going to bump anybody for it. My record twice I was offered up to $300 to bump somebody up, and I. Both times, and there was witnesses. There was a line of people behind it.
Taken it, Jay.
So, but hundreds, many times I've been offered, like, here's $100. My girlfriend's going to go next. I'm like, no, she's not. Hand it back.
Oh, wow.
And it's really, to me, it's not about the money. It's about the principle, because I was that guy that would spend my life savings on a drink to get into the bar.
Yeah.
And get a drink, and then to see people sing 3 or 4 times and I'm not singing at all. So I'm for everybody, very democratic, very, I think
it's great because, like I said, I remember telling Ale that, mutual friend, I was like, a lot. It's not just that too. It's like the smoothness of your show, the structure of your show. I know some KJs that are starting out in other bars, and then I've watched you for so many years, so it's like, dude, where's your filler song? I can't even hear you announcing. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And I'm not a KJ. I just see your exampleship, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, dude, you're dropping the ball. Where's the,
Well, yeah. I mean, I am biased, but I still learn by going to other shows, and I like to support other shows. I like to, you know, if a KJ comes to my show, I try to return the favor. It's a lot harder now that I have a daughter that's a year and a half old, but when I do go, it's like if I see something that's really kind of cool that I hadn't thought of, I'll steal it.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
And if I see something that really bugs me, I'm like, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
But like the Pac-Man, you know, death.
I
love
it. I love it.
I got that from a live band karaoke show that I went to at the OC Fair, and the girl hosting it had that, and it was, you know, like a live band, and you sang a song, and it was awesome. And I'm like, they called the names, and of course it's the OC Fair, so people leave, you know. And,
yeah.
And so I heard that quite a bit. I'm like, I'm going to put that in my show. Stuff like
It's
that.
iconic, Jay. You don't understand. Like one time, me and Ollie were at another place. Jeremy and I were at another place, and we're doing it. And we're like,
yeah.
And
it's like, I would love to just like break my own arm patting myself on the back, but I didn't think of it. It was somebody else. Stuff like that where it's like I'm a buffet KJ. I'll go to another show and I'll like pick and choose the things I like from their show and implement it into mine.
But you make it work. You make it your own.
Yeah,
So
I make it my own.
Yeah.
Like the sign-up list. Most of the places I'd gone before where you get a slip and you fill out the slip.
Oh, it's annoying.
And it drove me crazy because I knew damn well they weren't using that slip in any order.
Yeah.
And so it's like here it's transparent. It's like you see your name when you're singing blah blah blah. And
the order, you could see the order,
and it's in two places. It's on here the sign up sheet, and then it scrolls on the TV. So and I'm very, as you know, OCD about it. So you know, people can accuse me of you know, playing favorites. Nobody's going to believe you because it's right there. You know, it's like, here's the proof. I'm not playing favorites.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and there's no gimmicks, and you know you're not going to be skipped. You know, okay, I'm at New Wave Bar. It's like, okay, there we are. It's straightforward. I go to other places. You mentioned the slips.
Yeah.
The slips.
Yeah.
The old books.
Yeah.
The scanning of the code is much better than, it's like...
well, yeah. I mean, that's the one good thing about COVID was it forced us to throw away all those books because... Number one, there's no way I was going to have 153,000 songs printed out. I can't afford that. Danny, the owner, wouldn't afford that, so or pay for that. So when we went to the online version, it was all kinds of problems solved. You don't have to clean them after, because COVID, you would have to clean every book every night. Forget it.
Yes.
So we had somebody throw up on a book. I'm like, oh my God, you know?
Oh, drunken throw up.
Yeah, drunken throw up. It's like... I don't ever want to have to deal with a book ever again. And I could update it in real time.
Yes.
And I can, you know, don't have to reprint them all the time. But yeah, for like, I don't know, 10 years I did it that way, but something like that. But yeah.
Any crazy karaoke moments or funny stories or like surprise nights, wild nights? I'm asking this because in your year span, you probably had many. But do any stick out to you?
Well, I mean...
Because there's probably... You're like, well, which one, David?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like I can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So many nights. But the most flattering ones are the people that tip me to sing. And like one of my longtime regular customers, Gina DeBella Nordine.
Oh, Gina!
Bless her. She very quickly became one of my biggest fans, and it was very flattering.
Yeah.
And to this day, she'll do this. Well, she'll like, I'll Venmo you $20 right now if you do "I'm Too Sexy" and take off your shirt.
And I love you guys together. What's that song you guys do together?
And we do the Human League, "Don't You Want Me"?
Love together.
Yeah, and we do that song, but I kind of take liberty with the lyrics and change them.
I love it. It's awesome.
And it's not safe for work, so I won't.
Yeah, not safe for work.
But yeah, we kind of have fun with that. But Gina's great. She'll you know.
Shout out to Gina DeBella. I love Gina. I love Gary and Gina. Like, honestly, they're really, really dope people.
They are.
I've been to their home. They're
Yep.
her beautiful little dogs.
Yes. And I was the Cupid in that, where
Really?
Gina was
I would
coming
love
to
to
my.
have them on. Great idea.
They were wonderful.
Yeah.
She was coming on the regular. He was coming on the regular, and I was very flattered because she liked me, and I said, I like you too, Gina, but here's Gary.
Yeah.
And so kind of shot that poison arrow, and they started dating.
Shut that
And
poison arrow.
and now they're married, and I'm very happy, and they're both happy, and I love them both.
I know. I was supposed to go to their anniversary party. I missed it because I don't have a car.
I did go.
Yeah, I know. I know it was a blast. They had Clive there, right?
Clive Farrington?
Yes,
Was
Mr.
there?
Farrington,
He
who's a
sang?
great person too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's great.
he's a really nice guy. I was like, I was kind of starstruck because I remember being a kid singing
Yeah.
The Promise.
Yeah. Which you
and,
wrote.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
this is insane to me. This is so cool.
It is surreal.
Yeah.
And I've had the pleasure of singing that song with him.
Really?
At New Wave Bar, he pulled me up on stage.
Shut up.
Yeah, well, great story.
Yes. See, this is a podcast, baby. This is what we do.
I was wearing a Manchester City
Yes.
soccer shirt. I bought it in Manchester.
Shout out to Manchester, England.
I was wearing it, and Clive was playing with his band When in Rome, and he's a fan of Manchester United.
Yes.
And it's like, what are you wearing that shirt for? I'm like, I bought it there. And so that's how we started talking. And then I sang, because I had to, I sang The Promise. While he was waiting to go on, he was kind of stuck in the back room waiting to go on. So I sang The Promise, and he's like, that was really good. Would you like to sing it with me?
Wow.
Yes, I would. So I sang it on stage at New Wave a few times when his band played there.
Nice.
Gary and Gina, they got married at New Wave Bar.
Yes, I don't know that.
And we sang that song at their wedding, and I got to go up on stage with Clive and
That's
sing
so
it.
cool. I
And-
did see for Gary's birthday, he came back again. I was there that night. That's
Oh,
when I
okay.
got to meet him, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
He's a really good guy.
And he popped in when I was kind of doing karaoke a little bit. He's like, you're a great singer. I'm like, ah.
Because you are. Yeah. So Clive he's pulled me on stage a few times over the
That's
years.
so cool.
And really good guy.
Oh gosh, yeah. He's really nice. So, any other karaoke stories come out?
Well, I mean, that's how I met my fiancée.
Oh.
During COVID, I did my show online. We did it on Zoom.
Yeah.
And her father, Scary Larry, we call
Scary
him,
Larry.
Metzger. I had met him at a goth club
Yeah.
like a year before, Epic Lounge, at their one of their goth nights. And I befriended him. I saw him, and I'm like, I want to be friends with him. And he had this Matrix like trench coat, this cool
Sounds
thing.
like Larry.
And
He's so
I came
cool
up
too,
and I'm
by
like,
the
"Dude,
way.
I really love your trench coat." And he's kind of looking at me like side eye, like,
Who are you?
Is he gay? Why is he talking? Like, no, and so we hit it off when we exchanged info, and COVID hit, and he came into my. I was DJing for the Bat Cave, a goth dark wave night of DJs that I was curating, where I was
Sounds
DJing
fun.
and producing this thing, and then on Zoom, and then on Twitch, and then also doing my karaoke show on Zoom, and then I was also doing. Danny Sanchez had all of his 80s clubs. I love 80s.com. All of his 80s clubs went on Zoom to do, and so I was DJing for all those, and so Larry would come into those, and one time he brought his daughter. She logged in. She was in another relationship at the time, and I had no idea I would ever date her, but she logged in and sang songs, beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And this was Larry's daughter, and it just kind of didn't really click when she came into the New Wave Bar in person with her mother. Her mother I'd met at the goth clubs over the years. I kind of knew who she was, and she kind of knew who I was, but no idea she had a daughter until she brought her to New Wave. And then we were talking, and it's like, yeah, Scary Larry is my dad. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, oh, the connection. I remember now.
Yeah, it was just a weird, thing. And so Valerie became a regular at my show, and we started dating, and then next thing I know, I'm gonna be a father.
And that's all she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, good night. I'm just kidding.
She's now my fiancée.
and you guys got a beautiful, beautiful Brooke Gale.
Baby Brooke Gale is
Yes.
going to be 17 months in a few days.
born on your mother's birthday.
Born on my mother's birthday. Yeah.
That's a blessing. I love it. I love the whole
3 months early.
love story of you guys, and I got to see that. It's so cool to witness that.
Yeah, it's
she's a rock star wife or fiance.
Well, I don't know. It's crazy. Larry's a year younger than I am, and her mother, Jenny, who is a goddess. I love Jenny. She's just a beautiful. I love her.
Yeah.
She's 9 years younger than me. So Valerie is 29 years younger than me. So it's not supposed to work, but I'm doing the best I can.
It's not supposed to work, but it does.
It does work.
It's lovely.
And it's great. And
yeah, it's
I love
so
my daughter.
lovely.
I love Valerie.
And that your daughter is just beautiful. I feel like we should put a picture of her, like, just
there's only
stunning
17.5 million pictures and videos of her online now.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's I'm that guy. Every single day I'm taking pictures and videos of her.
Oh gosh. So how do you keep the passion alive with like the Depeche Mode band, still acting, still doing creative pursuits, still being a dad? It's like you've got all these plates spinning, right? You've got to, get into character.
Yeah. It's really, you make the time. Like, today I was texting with a booker to book another show, and it's like, well, they want this and this and this and that, and it's like, I will get it. I need time. And I had an audition that was due that I ran out of time for. It's like you got to make time for the things that are
prioritize and everything
important. So, like with karaoke, it's I've got a set schedule, and then I do where the water's warmer. So like if I'm offered a band gig and they're paying more money, I get a fill in for my karaoke show.
Absolutely.
So the schedule is hard to juggle, but as far as the passion for it goes, that never left me. Coming to LA, as a 23-year-old kid in 1993.
You got bit by the bug.
Well, yeah, and so it never left. It's like when you're on stage, and you know this because you've been on stage and you've performed, you really can't replicate that in doing anything else. I mean, I've gone to Burning Man a dozen times. I've done drugs. It's the things that are, and those are great and those are fun, but you don't get that experience unless you're performing. For me, anyways.
It's euphoric.
The euphoria. You've had a taste of it, and you've been there when you hit that note, and you hit it right, and the audience responds to you.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
that's the drug, and so.
And I bet your fans go gaw gaw because it's Depeche Mode.
It's Depeche Mode, and I'm singing the Martin songs,
yes.
and the harmonies on the Dave songs, and then I have another project which is a tribute to Yazrasure and Erasure.
Oh gosh, that's even.
Carrie Rappaport is our singer. She does both the Alison Moyet and the Andy Bell. And I just stand behind the keys and do the Vince Clarke and the harmonies.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Even though I'm not the lead singer on that, if I'm singing harmony and we're together, Carrie and I are like so in tune, and the people are singing along, it's just as fun for me.
I saw you guys at New Wave for the first time. This was years ago, and then I saw you again at Garden Amp.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't even know that it existed.
Yeah, she's
so fun.
She sought me out. She saw that I was doing Ultramode. Well, at the time, Mode 101, and then we I auditioned her, and she was great. And then we transitioned from just Yaz to Yaz and Erasure to combine them, and I love it. And so we just today booked a show officially with the venue in Long Beach called the Gas Lamp, which is a nut.
I've been trying. Great.
I've been trying to crack that nut for a long time, and I couldn't do it because
they have mostly country sometimes there too.
Well, they had a conflict with they had exclusivity with another Depeche Mode tribute band, and so who are friends of mine. Yeah, they're called Strange Love, and they are really
Strange. Okay,
they are really good guys.
Yes,
and I've known all those guys since before they were in Strange Love. They were in other different Depeche tribute bands, and so I've known them a long time, and so finally what happened was, the booker reached out to me out of the blue and said, hey, Strangelove is not available for these dates. They actually referred me to you, Ultramode, to fill in. And I said, wow. So I'm friends with Strangelove, so I reached out to Brent Myers, the guy who books for them. He's also their Martin Gore,
Yeah.
and he's like, Jay, anytime we could help you, if we can't do a show, we want to help you. He said there's, and I'm friends with some of the other guys in the band too, and like Julian Shaw Tyler, and they said like we like to help you because you're a good guy and we love you.
Yeah.
Some bands we won't name, they don't want to help because they are unprofessional and they're rude.
Unprofessional, rude, competitive, the list goes on.
and when I formed Mode 101 and Ultramode, I reached out to Brent and a couple of the other tribute bands, a local, and I said, look, guys, I don't want to step on toes. I know you guys aren't playing these smaller venues anymore. You're playing in Australia. You're playing in London. You're playing in New York.
And
you're
there's
playing
enough pie for us, too,
and it's
guys.
like we want to sleep on our own beds. You guys are on a plane every weekend.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know this is what we're putting together. And all of the bands I reached out to are like, you're cool, dude. We're good. We're not cool with XYZ, but we're cool with you.
Good.
Because I made that effort to let them know, hey, I want to be I'm on your team.
That's what it's about. That's very smart.
And so it paid off because they are good guys.
Yeah.
And there's been shows where they couldn't do them, and they said, hey, can you do it? Yes, I can. So we help each other.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
what it's about.
Today a dream came true. We get to play the Gaslamp because Strangelove, they couldn't do it. They referred us. We're doing it, and we're gonna have Yazrasure, and we're gonna have my dear friend Brian Soto's band, The Curse, is gonna play.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be a great show. December 27th. Plug.
And this episode should be out before then too, and then we'll plug your socials so they can. People can go there. Yeah.
Today that was booked. So that's one of those deals where today was a busy day, but once I did get out of bed, I like to sleep in.
Yeah, of course.
But once I got out of bed, it was like book her this and that, and change my baby's diapers this, and go for a run. I've got a jogging stroller, so I got my workout while taking the baby for a run, and doing all these things, and then jumping in the pool, and then we got to do this podcast. I got to get going.
Yeah.
Here we are, busy time. But good news is, I haven't dropped any balls yet. It's like I'm juggling them.
And you got a great fiance who's very supportive and helps you along the way, right?
Yeah,
Everything
she's wonderful. I'm very blessed. I mean, I knew right away she's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and I knew that pretty quickly. And I know
because with that support, it makes a huge difference. If you had a thorn in your flesh,
well, I mean, I'm not gonna, it's not perfect. I mean, we have a big age difference. There's that power dynamic because I am 56 and she's 27.
Yeah.
But and it's a small condo. You kind of get on. You're right on top of each other. We have a baby. It's hard, but
What do you want, like, in the next 3 years? Because this is like our manifestation space too. What do you see for you, your family, your career, your band? This is like a lofty question.
Yep.
This is a very lofty question, but I believe the sky's the limit. I met Hex, the producer, shooting pool, and we did this, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I like people to just dream bigger. Why not? You were a man that came down here from Seattle, had a dream, got bit by a bug, came down to You're like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, where do you see it?
Well,
where do you want to see it?
Almost every day, Valerie and I talk about, we're waiting for the market to settle a bit with the housing market because I need a house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to raise my daughter in the neighborhood that I'm in and in a 1-bedroom condo. So, house, and then once the house is done and that money's spent, wedding, and then just raise my family.
House and wedding.
That's the domestic thing. The professional thing is, I'm just going to keep doing gigs until I can't.
I want to see you guys overseas. I want to see you guys overseas. I love you, Strangelove. Y'all good? Yes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But I want to see you guys doing something.
I did Mexico with my previous tribute band, and that was fun. But Valerie doesn't have a passport yet, and we're going to get her one. And once she does, then I'll consider going back down to Mexico and then anywhere else.
I want to see you in England, though. I want to see you.
I would love to do that.
Oh,
but,
I would love that.
I'm realistic right now. The gigs we're going to get are going to be local, and then Seattle. We're doing a casino up there next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys just did one.
We did
that
for my.
long ago.
We did a casino up in June for my birthday. I
that was rad.
Homecoming.
I saw the photos.
Got the family up there, my daughter and my and my fiance and hung out with my dad and stepmom, and it was great. Well,
And
no,
got to perform.
and I got to perform. Well, that's kind of like the carrot is
Yes.
seeing family
Yes.
is like the bonus, but I kind of do it that way for a reason. Like the next time we go, the casino's next to where my father lives, so
Nice.
it's going to be great because he's 81, and I want him to see
Yeah.
my daughter,
As
his
much
granddaughter,
as possible.
because we don't know.
Yeah.
My mom left us a few years ago, and it's like she would be doing cartwheels over my
Oh,
daughter.
she would. She is in heaven.
Yeah, so I'm doing the best I can to book as many shows up there, but like in maybe Vegas will do, but outside of that, I like to stay local. I like to sleep in my own bed, and Valerie likes that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we ever do something like that overseas, like a London kind of thing, family's going to have to go. So
Family
it's-
have an Airbnb for you guys. Yeah.
it's gonna, because I did go to London to see Depeche Mode
Yes.
a year and a half ago, and it was great. And it was actually, I stayed at a youth hostel, and it was amazing. And families were staying there,
Yeah,
so
yeah, they do.
I could probably
They do.
do that
They're pretty clean and they're pretty put together.
And it was right next to
Safe.
Yeah, the park we were in next to was beautiful, and it was a short trip to the venue. And yeah, if I mean, knock on wood, I might be back, for another
Yeah.
Depeche Mode show with my family. And if my tribute band ever gets invited over there,
I
I'll
would
take it.
love for your tribute band. I don't know, just to play like a party around. There's a band that I like. They're called Dive, Diiv.
Okay.
They got to open for Depeche Mode years
Wow.
ago on one of their. I didn't know this. It blew my mind. They're not a huge band, but they opened for them. I want to say Ireland or Scotland or one of those places.
Wow.
And so I bet they never thought that was going to ever happen
Yeah,
for them.
that's amazing.
Honestly. So I would love to see, like, sometimes like a Metallica will come down and then between their shows they'll have a Metallica tribute band to play at a bar. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
would
never
absolutely
know.
say yes. I'm in a realist though, and I think it's kind of probably going to be local shows. We do house parties. We're playing a wedding of
Oh,
all things on Saturday. Where
would you play at your own wedding? I could see you totally doing it. I would do it.
well,
Jay.
I mean, not a full set, but
Like a couple songs.
I'm pretty sure John Paul Gonzalez and Dave Tong will be invited to our wedding. So, like when Sting got married, the Police had broken up
I love
years before, but they reunited at his wedding for a couple of songs. At our wedding, I'm sure Valerie will probably twist my arm a bit on that. So we might have a couple songs at our wedding, or some other surprises. I don't know. We got some time.
Oh, that's going to be a blast.
gonna
I
be a
want
fun
you
wedding.
guys to hit the jackpot and get married and get your house tomorrow. That's just
Yeah,
me. I
well-
know you're a realist, but that's just me,
Yeah,
okay?
She wants, and her mother, Jenny,
Yeah.
who we all know and love.
Yes.
They want the big goth wedding, and I'm like, that's fine, but I'm not spending a dime until we get a house. So once the house is done, I will spend money on a wedding, and it'll be fun. And
And
you'll
you
be
know
there.
what? That is the most smart, logical thing because people do it backwards and then they're paying off the wedding and
Forget
then they
it.
don't buy a home.
Forget it.
So it's like, the ceremony is so great. A big goth wedding is so beautiful, but the home, yes, very logical.
Yeah. I need a bedroom for my daughter. I need
So
a
we
man
talked
cave.
a little bit about what's next for you, right?
Right.
And, I want to know, what's your favorite Depeche Mode track to perform? Our top 3, if you can't just name one.
Well, as a singer, as Martin, Somebody is my favorite.
Okay.
But there's, it kind of changes too. Like sometimes I'm really feeling home, or I'm really feeling A Question of Lust. But Somebody's pretty much the go-to that I really always want to sing. And then as a singing backup with John Paul as our Dave Gone, the two most popular, my favorites are Enjoy the Silence and Never Let Me Down. Are fun to sing because Martin actually has parts. They're in the background, but he does have parts in those singing parts. And I just love the tempo of Enjoy the Silence,
Yeah.
which was originally recorded as a demo, as a ballad. It's slow, but
He likes his ballads.
But Alan Wilder sped it up and put a disco beat on it, and Martin added a little guitar, and now we have their biggest hit ever.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be an up-tempo song, but it is. And it's my favorite track. And that, and then Never Let Me Down was the one that really really got me into Depeche Mode. I mean, I was aware of them from the early 80s. You know, they played them on MTV, and I knew who they were, and I liked them. My brother liked them a lot more than I did. But when that album dropped in the August of 1987, I just got out of high school and graduated, and I heard that on the radio, and I bootleg recorded it. And I'm like,
like we did.
wow!
Back in the day.
And then I went and paid for the cassette and got it, and I wore that thing out, man. I mean, that song alone would just give me chills.
Yeah.
It's tingling.
It's crazy because I was in 8th grade when I got exposed to Depeche Mode. I was more into the Seattle rock scene,
Yep.
Nirvana. I was
Yep,
in
yep,
7th,
yep.
8th grade.
Yep.
6th grade, I was more like Tears for Fears. Like, it was some new wave, but I didn't really get it until I met my friend Sonia. And she had older siblings. So everything Depeche Mode, Depeche Mode, Depeche Mode, Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? What are you talking about, Depeche Mode? And I was like, oh, okay. So it was like a whole different like turn for me musically from like the harder, not harder, but like I liked 60s and 70s rock a lot. But I was more into the Seattle grunge scene for me.
Yeah.
And then she was introducing me to Depeche Mode. I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah, Depeche, I mean, we're very blessed here in LA where we have so many options for 80s clubs. I mean, they have them in Seattle too, but when I moved here, it was like, you know, I was a bit homesick, but I would go to the clubs. And fortunately, I very quickly befriended people like Richard Blade from K-Rock at the time.
Yeah. He
now
hosts a convention, right?
Yeah, he does. He hosts the Smith & Morrissey conventions and the Depeche Mode conventions, and he DJs. Well, he doesn't DJ around town as much as he used to, but back in the day, he was at a place called the Rebar, and within a couple of days of living in LA, I saw him, DJing at that club, and I just befriended him, and he's just great, really nice guy, and everybody knows him, and he's just really genuine, class, nice guy, and he's kept that torch burning since the
Southern
80s.
California. Oh yeah.
The 80s new wave, he has really kept it going, and so I never really left. I'm always going to be an 80s new wave kid, and so given that opportunity, in 2019 to take the stage and with the Depeche Mode tribute band, I was hooked from the sound check. I was like, wow, I'm a karaoke guy, and I know karaoke, and I love singing, but on this stage with this sound, with the four of us were singing the harmonies, and he'd never sung. This was, one of them I'd never met before, and then Brian I'd known for 10 years, but I never really sung with him, and then the lead singer I'd known for 10 years, but didn't really sing with him until now, and it's like, boom, I'm in heaven. This is euphoria. So I'm very, very blessed that I get to do this with Carrie Rappaport, with Yazrasure, and John Paul Gonzalez, and Dave Tong, with Ultramode, because it's such a good feeling, and again, it was back to my goal. It's like, I'm going to do things that are fun and get paid to do them. So
I love that.
We get paid to have fun.
If there's any takeaway for any listener, any viewer, this is what this podcast is about, the harmony and the hustle. It's like the embodiment of it. So last question, before I have you do your plugs and we sign off. Mm-hmm. What would be your dream collab, dead or alive?
Well, alive would be, I'd love to do a jam with Paul McCartney. My mom introduced me to the Beatles when I was a little kid, and she had all the vinyl, and my brother and I would play them. And dead, John Lennon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is all about hustle. I mean, all the gigs I've gotten have it's really never. I mean, thank you for pretending like I have talent, but it's not about. It's really, I've known, so and especially in LA, it's like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And so like all these gigs, like I've done the videography and play-by-play for high school and semi-pro football. I fell into that, and people saw the videos I was doing, and then it led to more work, with different teams and with the DJing. Like I'll guest DJ around town, or go up to San Francisco. One of my favorite clubs up there, the Cat Club, is they have an 80s theme night, Funky Town, where they have 70s and 80s disco in one room, and 80s and new wave in the other room, and I met that guy who books that from Burning Man because they were playing that there, and so it's connections you make, and then I begin.
And you know how to say yes to those opportunities
Yeah.
because there's people that are not motivated enough to say yes. They're like, I want to do it, I want to do it. And they meet all these connections, and then they drop the ball.
Yes, so it's like I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best DJ, but they like my DJing, so I figure out a way to get booked and make it.
And you
a paid
show
gig.
up. You're great work ethic.
Yeah, you be a professional. So with karaoke hosting, New Wave Bar is my regular gig. That's my residency, but I'll do special events.
Yeah.
You've seen me at the conventions where I'll do the Depeche Mode conventions as the karaoke host. Or one year I did both, where I was
10 out of 10.
I was hosting the karaoke, and then I ran downstairs and I was a mock star on the stage with the Depeche Mode tribute band.
Yeah, I remember.
So you get to do all the things, but bottom line is, you make your own luck, and that's what hustling is. It's like prepare yourself, and then be ready. Like if it's an acting gig,
But look what you've amassed, though, like by believing in yourself and putting yourself out there and wanting what you want and not settling for like anything else, like how you stood up for yourself at the job.
Right.
Those things, it's like it makes people that are hearing this story are going to be very they're going to be very like empowered or inspired. There we go, for lack of a better word, because they're going to feel like, wow, like I'm kind of on the boat like that. I've got the the work ethic and the professionalism, and I want to put myself out there.
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate compliment, really. When people like there are other people that would come to my show and sing a lot, and now they're KJs, and that's great. I mean
I think Mel was mentioning that.
Mel
too.
was I mentored her, I trained her, and Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe.
Avila.
Yeah, she might be on too.
I love her.
Shout out to Chloe. She's so dope.
So there's a lot of people that they were inspired. They're like, I like what you do. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. And I did that, and now they're doing their own thing, and I'm really happy for them.
That's so cool. So
Yeah.
where can we find Jay? So people that are listening and watching this want to find out your next gigs, want to find out where to find you for New Wave.
I will have to
New
refer
Wave
to my notes.
Karaoke. I want you to take your time and plug. Because I've had other guests kind of rush through their handle. It's like, I mean, we're gonna put it in the description as well, but it's just good to have out for those listening.
Yeah, well, if you like the band Depeche Mode, we have a tribute called Ultramode, and we have a wedding that's a private wedding. Sorry, you're not invited. That's Saturday, but if this broadcast before that, we're going up to Tulalip, Washington to Tulalip Resort and Casino. That's going to be on the 12th on Friday of September, and then we're playing on Saturday, the 27th of September at a place called That 80s Bar in Montclair. We're playing the Garden Amphitheater, the Dark Wave Fest, which is in Garden Grove.
Yes, that's
I'm
the
curating
19th
that.
of October, right?
Yeah, October 19th, Sunday night. That's something I put together, producing it, where we have 5 main stage bands and then 7 more in the locker room in the back.
I think Skyplant, are they going to be there?
Skyplant is going to be there.
I went to go see them. I'd love that. I just networked and talked to them.
Yeah,
I love them.
we've played with them several times now where they've opened for us, where
Hell
we're going to have 7 bands in the locker room. They're one of them. We're going to have Brian Barr's tribute original music band called Ghost in the Photo.
Yes.
We're going to have Warsaw Pact. I'll see if I can remember these names. I'm not going to remember all 7 of them, but we've got 7 great bands that are going to be in original bands, inspired by Dark Wave.
Yes, I love Skyplant. I just went Friday to see them with Casa de Brujas.
Yeah.
I've already pitched getting them on the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
they're pretty rad.
Strange Ways, Vertigo Shock, Warsaw Pact, Ghost in the Photo.
Ghost in the Photo's Ryan.
And the headliner is going to be Roland Dark, who I used to work with in Mode 101. Again, we're friends now, so I gave him the opportunity to headline that room. And his original music is going to blow your mind. He's really good.
I'm
so,
excited.
7 bands there. And then the main stage is going to open with a Cure tribute band called Pictures of You. And then a Susie and the Banshees tribute band called Nocturna with Veronica Sarro. I love her. The third band is going to be a 9 Inch Nails tribute called Nails.
Yeah, no, I've seen them at New Wave.
They're
Yeah.
great. And then
I
Ultramode.
love New Wave because I got to see a lot of these tribute bands.
We are
at New
spoiled.
Wave.
We are spoiled.
Oh,
Ultramode will be the fourth band supporting first support for the headliner, which is going to be, well, we're kind of co-headlining the Bauhaus tribute band Eyeliner.
Eyeliner. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Jermis Corpus is their singer, and he's
Yes.
amazing. So we've kind of flip-flopped with, them opening for us, we open for them, and we kind of gone, and I thought this year, you know what, they've never headlined Garden Amp. We have. Let them headline.
It's going to be great. It's buzzing everywhere.
So,
we're
going to have a good show. And then we play at the Canyon Club, which was just announced I'm skipping ahead to Yazrasure. And then we play in Long Beach at the Gas Lamp. All the details will be announced, but that'll be on Saturday, the 27th of December. There's like an exclusivity thing right now, so I'm not going to book a November show unless, it's like a 30-day, 30-mile exclusivity, right? So you don't want a conflict of interest with that show. So if I do a show in November, we haven't booked yet. We'll have to do it, before the 27th of November. So I think we're going to do like a day after Thanksgiving show, like a Black Friday show. But I'm not sure yet. So
where could we? So in case like some of these shows, this episode isn't out, what are your like Instagram or Facebook handles where people can go to see like these shows and future shows? And in case you book the
we have our social media. We have Instagram and we have Facebook. So and they're both really easy to find. Ultramode, tribute to Depeche Mode, and then Yazrasure is the same thing.
Yes.
Yazrasure, tribute to Yazrasure. I jumped ahead where we're going to have Yazrasure on the same bill as the Ultramode on the 27th at Long Beach at Gaslamp. But we also have another show lined up in 2026. If you guys are familiar with the Canyon Club in Agora Hills, we're going to be opening for a Duran Duran tribute called Rio, and on 26th of February, Thursday night. So, it's
I didn't
really
know you booked that far ahead.
we do. In fact, we've got some shows booked in April of next year. So, but they're on hold.
So people, if you're interested in all this great 80s music and like just, go to those socials.
If you like to sing, you want to come to karaoke, I have been at New Wave Bar since March of 2012. So I'll be there tomorrow. We do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We used to have 7 nights a week. We used to also be on the main stage, but now we're in the back room, on the stage in the back room, and we're there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If I'm not there, I'm being a mock star with one of my bands, or I'm shooting video for something, high school football or semi-pro football or whatever. I go where the money is. So
gotta follow the money.
The good news is that the owner of New Wave Bars totally understands that. So I have a roster of fill-in karaoke hosts that are fortunately very eager to jump in and fill in my shoes when I'm out.
Right on.
And so if I'm not there, you'll be in good hands with any of my backups.
Oh, yeah. Either Gina, Gary, KJ Mel. I don't know who else is there.
Well, let me see if I can remember my lineup. But yeah, we got number 1 is Mel, KJ Mel, and then Franz.
Franz
is my guy. He's number 2, and number 3 I think is Gina DeBella, and number 4 I think is Braxton. KJ Braxton, and number 5 is I think Brian Soto. He hasn't filled in a minute, but he fills in, and then our emergency break glass in case of emergency is Gary.
Yeah.
Because he's our sound guy.
Yeah, He's got to
do sound first. So if he fills in, it's usually on a night there's not a band, and he can do it. So like when I go to the casino, he'll be filling in during the week because Wednesday and Thursday there's no band, so he could do it.
Well, Jay, thank you for just coming down here. It's been a ride. And just big love and endless gratitude to my guest, MCJ. Check out his handles. And just thanks for blessing the mic and sharing your story with us, from tribute stages to karaoke nights to novelist to acting to, we didn't even get into producing and all the other stuff. That's another episode, right?
Sure. Yes, I did. I produced a couple of films, wrote the novel.
Yeah.
But you know, you make your own luck, and you just do it, as Nike says. So that's my advice.
Yeah, so if you're ever in Lakewood and you want to pull up to a legendary new wave bar, I mean, it's probably top tier karaoke. The sound, the look, everything, the safety, the food, the drinks, it's just always. And then if you go on the weekends, you get a band. Like, you can't get them. I don't know many places you can do that. I think that's what sets New Wave apart. You can get a DJ in one room and karaoke in the other room.
Yeah. Well, again,
or a band in one room, and
Right. Danny Sanchez, his wife Cynthia, they have 5 clubs.
Shout out to Danny and Cynthia with 5. I thought it was 6. No, 5.
Once upon a time,
Yeah.
but they've got 5, and New Wave is the only one with 2 separate rooms to do 2 different things. We used to have karaoke, believe it or not, at every single one of his clubs. But
before the pandemic,
COVID
right?
kind of ruined that. So
Boo, COVID.
that changed a lot.
Yeah.
I miss having that main stage in the front room for karaoke.
I remember they brought it back for a bit. I was there.
For 1 month they did, and sadly, I reached out and I tried to get all the old school people to come back, and they just didn't. And so if we would have had the turnout that we had before COVID in that main room.
I saw all the photos that you post from back in the day, 2013, 2014. So cool.
Those are the days, man.
Yeah.
That room and that crowd.
Yeah.
But sadly, a lot of them, they're just no longer with us. Yoli passed.
I'm so sorry.
A lot of them, cancer.
Yeah.
And, but the good news is I'm still there, and we still make the best of the back room.
Yeah.
And it's still a good.
I love the back room because that's where I started in Zip.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So I'm a little biased in that respect.
Yes. So I am not gonna bite that hand that feeds me. I love the gig. I want to be on that main stage, but the back room is great, and I'm gonna make the best of it.
Until you get your own. No, let's not go into the future.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe Harmony and Hustlin podcast for more dope convos with artists, streamers, and real life movers. I'm your host once again, Stargurl. This is Jay. Thank you for coming. And until next time, stay loud, stay bold, and keep hustling in the harmony. Thank you.
Thank you.